Hello everyone, this is John's never-ending list of random things to do, back here with some more Celica Supra content. I had just finished replacing my shocks, and when I was reinstalling this wheel, I noticed something was loose here. Watch me wiggle the wheel back and forth. With the wheel removed, it's a lot easier to see what's wrong here. This boot has already been broken, and listen to this clunk. It's coming from the inner tie rod. So now that we know where the clunking noise is coming from, it's time to replace this part. In this video, I went on ahead and replaced both inner and outer tie rod. Start by removing this cotter pin right here. Next, you'll want to remove this 17mm nut. Break it loose, then remove it completely. If you're lucky enough, the outer tie rod should fall out with little to no effort. In this case, I wasn't lucky, so I'll go ahead and remove this castle nut completely, then flip it over and screw it back in like so. Now, bring out the hammer and give it a nice smack. Next, I'll be removing the rubber boot. Cut and remove this tie wrap right here. Next, grip the boot firmly and pull it off. So now that the inner tie rod is exposed, you'll want to look closely at the lock washer here. You'll want to straighten out this tab here, and this one over here as well, using a flathead screwdriver and a hammer. Now that the two tabs are straightened out, if you don't have a special tool, you could use a plumber's wrench to break loose the inner tie rod. And with that loose, if it doesn't spin freely by hand, use a pair of channel locks to help you remove it completely. If you are wondering, here are the part numbers that I will be using. I'll also leave a link to all the items that I used in the video description below. Up above are the new parts and down below are the old parts. Using the new parts, I tried to replicate the length of the old parts. This way the alignment stays almost about the same, but I would highly recommend you go get an alignment after the installation. Make sure your kit came with a new lock washer. And since my boot was broken, I'll go ahead and replace it. The lock washer has two tabs, which should be installed this way. Before installing the inner tie rod, apply some thread lock. Now you'll want to thread it in by hand, and once it's on there pretty good, press the lock washer up against the rack and pinion so it doesn't spin anymore. Then completely tighten the tie rod end by hand. Then using a plumber's wrench, snug it down. Next, use your flathead and hammer to flatten the lock washer here and here. With all that done, the boot can now be slipped over the rack and pinion. Then place a new zip tie right here. Next, place the outer tie rod into here, followed by the castle nut. Then torque it down to 43 foot-pounds, or get it nice and snug. And hopefully the hole aligns where you can slide the cotter pin in. For my installations, I like to bend the other half of the cotter pin over like so. Then smash it down. And that's all there is to replacing an inner and outer tie rod. As a reminder, don't forget to get an alignment. And if you're wondering, these are the results for my alignment. I hope some of you found this video helpful. If you did and you liked it, help me with those thumbs up. And again, if you're not subscribed yet, help me with those subscriptions. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys for the next random project.